Hello and welcome to Frank's School. My dog's down here today. She maybe will keep peace among the cats or else we'll have a cat-dog fight. The video yesterday, I mistakenly put the same thing on twice. I'm sorry about that. Maybe by now I will have had it fixed. But anyway, I think I'll sort that out. And before I go on with this is the 85th day, 13th day of Advent. I wanted to say just a little bit more about yesterday. That was so personal. I'm talking about myself as a student at Harvard, a freshman, and I don't want to do very much of that. That's kind of self-indulgent if I use the cat begins. If I use this forum to just talk about myself, so I feel a little bit apologetic about that. But I think there's maybe things to be learned. It does begin. The cat and the dog are playing. One of the things to be learned, I think, I learned about myself in teaching that. And in a sense, I felt sorry for myself because I didn't, as I've said so often, I didn't like Harvard. And I think I saw why. Romanticism. This was romantic music, and it affected me profoundly, and I was in a world where it didn't affect the others the same way. And I think as I look back, Harvard, a city anyway, Cambridge, Massachusetts, but Harvard, it was no place for a romantic. A romantic had no business being there. And I find myself thinking of Henry David Thoreau, who went to Harvard, and one of the most famous of romantics. He didn't like it either. And I wonder a little bit if right there I could almost pinpoint the beginning of my discontent and my realizing that this was not the world for me. I did not fit in. Harvard was for serious-minded people who were going to use the education and get rich. So anyway, I could get self-indulgent again. But this idea of romanticism, I think I had an insight. Another thing I wanted to say was conducting. Why I looked so confused, because I was wrong. That's not in 12/8. It's probably in 4/4. And behold a star, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But he could have conducted it in cut time. Have to behold a star from Israel rising, and a scepter from Israel. Then he would have had a hand freer to bring out the dynamics. Why I was getting it confused was because there is another gorgeous romantic Mendelssohn piece called "He Watching Over Israel." It comes from the oratorio Elijah. That one is in 12/8, so anyway, and worth finding. It is beautiful. It is so comforting. As a matter of fact, Elijah. That whole oratorio is great, to a romantic anyway. All right, now, today I want to talk about O Little Town of Bethlehem, and I don't have to be so self-indulgent. O Little Town of Bethlehem. The name of the tune is Christmas Carol, and it was written by this man. Look at these years. 1941, I was born in 46. I mean, we're coming up practically to the present day. Now that's the tune. The poem was written by Phillips Brooks, and there's his years, and in Philadelphia, I think, Pennsylvania. So we've got an American, once again, we've got an American carol here. And, and it can also be sung to a tune called Forest Green. That's not the tune I know. And I hesitate to get it in my head. It's a sweet tune. It comes from a folk melody. O little town of Bethlehem, how sweet. It's a neat way to sing it, but I only discovered it, maybe 10 years back. I was so surprised to hear a choir singing O Little Town of Bethlehem to a different tune. And I did want to just mention folk melodies. Later in Frank's School, I'll probably deal with folk music and folk songs. Just yesterday, I got a package in the mail from my German friends, the Hawklings, and in it was a book of German folk songs. Just the melody and the words. It's rich. Okay, so let's see. I've mentioned that stuff. Now, here's the stanza that I want to draw your interest to. And I'm erasing this because I think I've got room here to diagram it right here. It's the beginning of the second stanza. For Christ was born of Mary and gathered all above, while mortals sleep, the angels keep their watch of wondering love. Interesting structure. This is a trimeter. For Christ was born of Mary, feminine ending, and gathered all above, masculine ending, but still three, iambic. While mortals sleep, the angels keep. Now there's four. And that's not really a mistake. That's the structure of it. Their watch of wondering love. You could argue that this should be contracted, wondering, so you don't get wondering love. That way it's more smoothly iambic. Notice the internal rhyme, sleep and keep. That's in every verse. O little town of Bethlehem, how still we see thee lie, above thy deep and endless sleep. Wow, or something sleep. That's even the same deep and dreamless. Oh, dreamless sleep. What a cool phrase, dreamless sleep. Now that's a sleep. Dreamless sleep. The style starts go by. Rhyme scheme A, B, CB, but we've got regularly internal rhyme here. Now, why I chose this, I thought this was clever. While angels sleep, now this is intransitive, you sleep. The angels keep, but that's not intransitive. This has got a direct object. The angels keep their watch. And I think I've said elsewhere in this December season, maybe not, that a choir, or a singer too, I mean, if they're singing and they're thinking about the words, if there's no punctuation here, well, they should sing straight through there. The angels keep their watch. If you pause there, you get confused about, well, what are you saying? And there's no punctuation here. Just because it comes at the end of the line doesn't mean that you take a breath or you take a fresh start. That is called enjambment. Here we've got enjambment between this line and that line. And I've already pointed out the internal rhyme. Now, let's see if I can diagram this. Now, once again, we've got that 4 is coming from Christ. Christ was born. Christ was born. This would be a passive voice here. Was born of Mary. Of Mary. And here, coming from the other sentence, we've got 4. Here it's a, well, it would still be a, it would like because. So maybe I ought to put it on a line like that. Well, in any case, Christ was born of Mary. Now it gets a little bit more interesting. This is a compound sentence. And where do we find the subjects? Well, angels. There it is. Angels keep. That's what's going on here. Angels keep watch. And these angels, they're gathered. These are gathered. They're all gathered all. Let's see, what angels all gathered all. They're gathered above. That's pretty clear. What do you do with all? All the angels. All gathered. Gathered how? I don't know. This may not be perfect, but I think I would say all is modified the angels. All angels are gathered above. And gathered all above, let's see, the angels. Oh, I guess I needed room here for the angels keep their watch. They keep their watch, and what kind of watch? It's a watch of love. But what kind of love? Wondering. I wonder that there could be such love. Wondering love. Their watch of wondering love. Okay, so when does this go on? Well, it goes on while mortals sleep. While mortals sleep. I think I've got the whole sentence here. Cat, come here. Let's see. For Christ was born of Mary and gathered above all. The angels keep their watch. Their watch, I think I forgot. Their watch of wondering love. And this happens while mortals sleep. Now, what I think is cool about this is while mortals, well, I think I already said sleep is intransitive. Mortals simply do that. There's no direct object. Keep, however, has a direct object. They keep watch, their watch. And that's, for me, works so cleverly with the enjambment. I already spoke about that. All right. This was day 13 of Advent. See you tomorrow, day 14th. Bye for now.